Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So as you can see, the price of Bitcoin here in a weekly time frame is breaking the support from this one very important line that we were holding since March 2020, because with each and every corrective price movement, the price of Bitcoin has always found support at this rising trend line before showing this impulsive movement type of scenario. But in our case right now, in a weekly time frame, the price of Bitcoin is below this rising trend line, and not just only that, also the support from this 50 weekly moving average and this falling trend line. Just like here from past Bitcoin price action, you can see this support line is also getting broken. So now in a weekly, since we have only 2 more days left, if the price of Bitcoin is going to close below all this support line, below this 48,000 range in a weekly time frame, then that is an actual sign of danger. Why I'm actually saying you that? Because if you are aware, before I show you in a daily time frame, it is very important for you to understand this descending broadening wedge. Even though this is looked as a trend reversal pattern, a bullish trend reversal pattern, you can see it could still fail, right? So that's why on my left hand side you can see this descending broadening wedge trend reversal pattern, where the price breaks the upper line resistance, flips it into support, and continue this price movement here to the upper direction. On the right hand side, even though this is a descending broadening wedge, it is looked as a trend continuation pattern, because this is making more of a lower highs, lower lows, and heading here to the downward direction. And now if we look in our case, guys, you can see very clearly the price of Bitcoin is forming another similar movement. I mean, the price here from the very nice descending broadening wedge, right? You can see it very clearly, but we were unable to break the upper line resistance. You can see here, right? So what happened? We started this new trend here to the downward direction, making this more of a lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. You can see here, right? Lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. Now again, in our case, this is another descending broadening wedge type of scenario that we are witnessing right now with Bitcoin price action. So the question here is this going to be more of a bullish or a bearish descending broadening wedge? Because for a bullish descending broadening wedge, the resistance line must be flipped into support, and in the bearish descending broadening wedge, the resistance line is not going to let the price to break here to the upside. So now if you look in our case, guys, you can clearly see the price couldn't even rally towards this upper line area of the descending broadening wedge, and now we are seeing this reversal type of scenario. So if this trend here is going to continue to the downside, then we have to be very careful, because the price of Bitcoin could be approaching the lower line area of this descending broadening wedge one more time before choosing a trend direction. So in that case, right, if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, we could be approaching around this 44,000 to 43,000 one more time before choosing an actual trend duration. And why I'm actually saying you that, if you have been following me for a while, you know I showed you this bull trap type of formation that was playing out again and again here in past Bitcoin price action. Because once the price in the past Bitcoin price action broke out of the upper line area of the falling wedge, you can see really nice impulsive movement, again corrective movement, followed by a relief rally type of scenario before continuing this trend here to the downside. Similar scenario also unfolded here, broke out of it, right, showed some relief rally type of scenario before continuing this trend here to the downside. And in our case, you can see broke out of this falling wedge, a move here to the upside, did not last it longer, and now this movement what we witness could be a relief rally, just like here. So if this is going to be a trend reversal here to the downside, then as I've already said you, this 43 to 44,000 is where we could be getting approached in a immediate short term for Bitcoin. And not just only because of this descending broadening wedge, the lower line area around this 44,000 could actually be on the line if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, but also if we look at the price action using the CPR indicator. So before I talk about the CPI indicator and the price action of Bitcoin, please, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, do it right now. It's only going to take 2 seconds of your time, not more than that, guys. So now if we look at this 4-hour time frame and also the CPI indicator, the price of Bitcoin is being trapped between these two monthly S1 line and monthly S2 line. So the monthly S1 line that is lying around 50,500 is one important line of resistance. We are aware of that. And to the downside now, if you focus around this monthly S2 line, this monthly S2 line is also lying around 44,000 price area. So if this trend here is going to see any sort of a further retracement, then this monthly S2 is where we could be getting gravitated. So that is the reason why I said you, if this bull trap is going to continue, 44,000 could be on the line, and also the lower line area from the descending broadening wedge. So that is the reason why I was showing you, if this trend is going to continue, then 43,000 could be our potential downward price target. And if you do see this price movement around that range, what could happen? Because I want to show you this one scenario here. If you simply monitor this price around this area, guys, let me show you this one very interesting scenario that is being talked by absolutely no one. So guys, now the chart that I'm actually going to show you here is one very interesting chart. Why? Because even if the price of Bitcoin is going to see any sort of a retracement again towards this 43,000 range, why there could still be a relief rally that could bring the price of Bitcoin around this 59,000 range before choosing a trend direction, even if it's a bullish or a bearish trend. Let me show you with this very interesting example here. Three valley and a river. You can see point A, point B, point C, and point D. Very simple to understand. From point A till this point B, we will be following a trend which is making more of a lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. Just imagine a descending channel around this range, right? But once the resistance is going to be broken, there could be a relief rally around this point C area, which is going to be 62% of A to B, before again continue this to the downward direction. And now, if we look at this similar example, the price movement, what we are witnessing here, right? Lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. If this trend somehow manages to see another movement, breaks out of this upper line area, then we could see some impulsive movement playing out for Bitcoin. In that case, the length of this movement here, the impulsive movement, is going to be 62% from A to B. So this here is the point B, in our case from A to B, right? So you can see it's lying around 58,600 price area. So that was the reason why I was showing you, if this is going to be any sort of a three valley and a river scenario, right, then the price of Bitcoin could see a movement at least towards this 59 to 58,000 range before continue this rally to the downside or even to the upside. Doesn't matter, but there could be this relief rally type of scenario playing out for Bitcoin as soon as this resistance line is going to be flipped into support. Very similar example. You can see once the resistance line, this falling trend line, is being flipped into support, there will be this impulsive movement that could bring the price around the 61.80 before choosing a trend direction. So these are some of the interesting scenario I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then come on guys, hit the like button, and for those individual watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.